it's Melanie. Happy Monday and welcome to another Mask Monday. Today we are going to be talking about a face mask, and I recently picked up the Murad Pore Rescue Pore Extractor Pomegranate Mask. I did grab this at Ulta for $38, so it is a little bit more expensive for a mask. However, I've been very curious about this one for quite some time, and I finally sprang for it. So this is 1.7 ounces. It comes in a plastic jar, which I appreciate. It has this lovely Pepto-Bismol color to it. I have used this a total of 3 times on my face now. One thing that I really do like about it is that a little bit goes a long way. I also really like the smell of this one. It does have, I don't want to say a strong fragrance to it, but there's definitely a fragrance to it. I really like it. I would call it kind of a fruity floral fragrance. The consistency of this is a little bit almost moussey in texture. It spreads extremely evenly on your face. You do apply this like you would any other face mask. You're going to wash your face first, put on your toner if you want to, and then go ahead and put your face mask on. Now, because I recently had my eyebrows microbladed, I have not used this on my forehead yet, which actually kind of worked out because I was able to see the difference on my skin from like the lower part of my face compared to the upper part of my face where I didn't put the treatment. So I do think that I actually got really good results from this, and I'm really glad I had a chance to try this. So like I said, used it on the lower part of my face. What I noticed is that, so it never really dried to a super tight, like clay-like mask feeling. It did dry on my face, but almost like a creamy texture, if that makes sense. You leave this mask on from anywhere like 10 to 15 minutes. They tell you to use it 2 to 3 times a week or as needed. And so for me, I did it, let's see, I've been trying it for about a week and a half. So every few days I was putting this on. And what I noticed is that it did seem to have this effect of tightening my pores, but without pulling all the oil out of my skin, which is normally what you get from a lot of, you know, pore minimizing type masks, is your skin does look really tight afterwards, and your pores maybe look a little bit smaller, but you're also stripping your skin sometimes. Like if you're just pulling too much of that oil out, your skin's gonna just overproduce it. And one thing I noticed with this is once I, you know, got it off my face, I didn't notice that my face got oilier afterwards. I do have some masks in my collection where they do remove probably a little bit too much oil from my skin, and I do notice that I get a little bit oilier afterwards. I did not notice that with this one at all. So the benefits that they claim to give you from this mask are, they say here that this is an intensive clay mask that rescues clogged pores after just one use. Lactic acid polishing beads lift and exfoliate dead skin cells. Volcanic clay acts like a magnet to help extract impurities from deep within the pores, and pomegranate extract promotes glowing skin for visibly refined pores and cleaner, smoother skin. So there is a little bit of a texture to this mask, but it's not like an abrasive scrub by any stretch of the imagination. You do feel some granules in there. Once you are all done with the mask on your face, what you're supposed to do is wet your hands and just kind of gently rub your skin. Don't aggressively go at your skin. You're just going to damage your skin if you do that. Just very gently, you know, wash the mask off your face. Just keep getting more and more water. And it really does leave your skin very, very smooth. It takes away any like flakies or dry patches that you have on your face. Like I said, your face does not feel stripped or overly dry. It definitely feels like, you know, it's time to put on a moisturizer afterwards. but I don't feel like I have to use a super heavy moisturizer or even like an oil. Some of my more lightweight moisturizers, like the Sheer Transformations from Ole Henriksen, is kind of perfect to use after a treatment like this. And it removes fairly easily because it doesn't get that like super dry clay, like stuck to your face kind of finish to it. It's actually pretty easy to remove afterwards. So I do notice an absolute difference between using it on the lower half of my face and not doing anything to my forehead. There's a difference. My forehead, I notice, doesn't look as smooth. It doesn't look as like refined, you know. It looks rougher. It looks like it needs the same treatment that the lower half of my face. In order for my skin to look its best. With the healing of the microblading, it has been a little bit tricky. There is a 2-week time period during the healing process, even with the touch-up treatment, that you're not supposed to get that area wet at all. So for me, it's just easier to just use the like cleansing towelettes up there and just kind of leave it at that for the time being. I don't use a lot of my masks and treatments in that area because it's just, you know, like you run the potential for getting your brows wet when you do stuff like that, or to have the retinols or serums or whatever kind of seep down, and you don't want to do that while your brows are healing. So moral of the story is, I notice a big difference in my face, the part of my face where I use the product versus when I don't. So for me personally, this is one that I see myself using at least once or twice a week going forward. It is one that I absolutely see myself repurchasing in the future. I believe you can get this at Ulta, obviously where I purchased it. I also think it's available at Sephora. I will link it wherever it's available down below. It gets pretty darn good reviews. There are people that really swear by this mask, that really enjoy using it. And I can tell you that I'm one of those people now. If you are someone who doesn't want any kind of fragrance or anything like that in your skincare products, I don't know that this is going to be the best bet for you, because it does have a scent to it and there is actual fragrance in here. It's pretty low down on the list here, but it's there. So if you're anti-fragrance, this is not going to be for you. If you don't mind a little bit of fragrance, like my skin can tolerate it really well, so it works for me. Anyway, I really like this. It's a good product. I look forward to continuing to use it. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.